Assalamualaikum and a very good day to my lecturer, Dr. Iskandar Hassan Tan bin Abdullah and my fellow classmates. Today, my group members and I will be presenting on the National Education Policy. Before we go deeper into this topic, let us introduce ourselves first. Starting with me, my name is Nurhanis Afifah binti Karim and I will be the presenter for the introduction. Next with me today are...
Hi, my name is Nur Aina Nasuha binti Arifin.
Hi, my name is Nurin Suraya.
And my name is Nur Zahra binti Ismail.
Hello, my name is Nur Aliauna and I will be the presenter for the conclusion.
Now, let's look at our first point, which is Introduction to National Education Policy. What is the National Education Policy? First of all, this policy is more than just a set of rules. It is a vital tool for individual growth and our nation building process. Its main goal is to create national unity in our diverse society. Moving on, we can see the scale of this commitment by looking at the 2026 government allocation. The government provided a record-breaking 66.2 billion ringgit to the Ministry of Education. This massive investment proves that education is a top priority to ensure Malaysia stays competitive globally. Besides that, the policy acts as a comprehensive framework. It guides the structure and delivery of our entire education system. It also works together with the Malaysia Education Blueprint 2013 to 2025, which focus on improving student outcomes and meeting international standards. Next, as we move into the 21st century, the policy has become very responsive. We are no longer just looking at traditional schooling, but also at digital technology, the knowledge-based economy, and global competition. So, to sum up, there are three key objectives this policy aims to achieve. First, unity, to bridge our social gaps through a uniform curriculum. Second, equity, to democratize education so that students in rural areas get the same quality as those in the city. And the third one, economy, to produce a highly skilled workforce to drive Malaysia's future growth. And that is all for the introduction. Now, I will pass the floor to my next teammate.
Education issues are common in developing countries due to limited resources. This makes it difficult to ensure fair and efficient allocation and effective education delivery. It is also a challenge to provide equal access to quality education. In Malaysia, similar issues exist in funding and distribution, especially where rural areas may be more affected than urban areas. The cost issues in education. The government is the main financier of education in Malaysia, especially for primary and secondary levels. Education is also highly subsidized, including at the higher education level. In addition, students can receive loans such as PTPTN, which must be repaid after they start working. This shows that education costs are shared between the government and individuals. Education costs include several components such as personnel, facilities, learning materials, and programs. These costs vary by level, with higher education generally being more expensive. High costs can affect both access and quality of education, especially in rural areas. For example, rural schools may lack proper facilities due to limited budget. Benefit of the National Education Policy. First, the benefit is equitable access. This policy ensures that everyone has access to quality education regardless of their socioeconomic background, education, or gender. This is important to make sure that no one is left behind in the education system. Second is increased productivity. Higher levels of education lead to better individuals' earning. It also reflects the true economic value of labor, especially in the private sector. Third is holistic development. This is guided by the National Philosophy of Education, which focuses on balancing intellectual, emotional, spiritual, and physical development. This means students are not only academically successful but also well-rounded individuals. Next, the benefit is economic growth. Education produces a skilled workforce that drives national innovation. It also attracts foreign investment because the country has a competent and capable workforce. There is technological advancement. The policy integrates digital tools and online platforms to prepare students for a technology-driven future. Lastly is digital literacy. Digital skills are essential for graduates to stay relevant in today's modern global workforce.
Now, I'll walk you through the core objectives of our national education policy. Our main goal is to boost academic growth and foster national unity and identity through multiracial school interactions. The Malaysia Education Blueprint MEB 2013 until 2025 is a roadmap to improve access, raise quality and set a vision for student aspiration. Using the successful MEB, the government intends to improve the policy through the National Education Plan 2026 until 2035. It focuses on two pillars. The first one is values, that focuses on Malaysian values, morality, and cultural diversity. The other one is technology, which focuses on mastery of AI, digital skills, STEMs, TVET, and green energy. Examples of key reform is curriculum, assessment, and early education. For the teachers and student welfare, the educators will be given a better compensation and admin tasks will be reduced, and the budget allocation for facilities is 100 million ringgit. For inclusivity, free education will be given to the hardcore poor student and full tuition waiver for students with disabilities. We call it as OKU. Now, who make this happen? We call them as actors. These are individuals and groups from both the public and private sectors. The key categories are from the government institution, which is MOE and MOHE, the private institution, civil society, and interest group. The power of interaction is a policy decision result from the skill and influence the resources shared between these actors. Other than that, the influence factors is driven by political interests, economic goals, social needs, and public pressure, aligned with a complex policy network, crucial link, and the core goal. In Malaysia, we categorize these actors into two groups. The first one is official actors. These include the executive branch, the Ministry of Education, and regional authorities like JPN and PPD who manage budgets and laws. Other than that, delivery units and legislator is one of the official actors too. Besides that, the non-official actors is including frontline educators, parents and PIBG, students, external experts, private sectors and NGOs, and also PDRM. PDRM involved in school discipline and curbing bullying issues. In short, it takes this entire ecosystem to ensure our education system remains fair, sustainable, and effective for the nation's future.
Now, regarding the implementation of the policy, the challenges to effective policy implementation includes teacher attitudes, the nature of mandates, communication gaps, and the infrastructure divide. Teacher attitudes, for example in Selangor, show resistance towards the policy and a lack of professionalism among teachers. Nature of mandates refers to policies that often feel top-down, where educators lack of sense of ownership of the reforms. Communication gaps mean that information gets lost between administrative levels, notably in Kelantan and Selangor. Therefore, the strategies for effective policy implementation includes the 10 shifts, which focus on producing well-rounded graduates, improving TVET quality, and enhancing entrepreneurial skills. Decentralization using SIPs and SISs help customize policy implementation according to local school needs. Through lifelong learning, flexible pathways are created for adults, along with continuous skills upgrading. Next, inclusive leadership involves school leaders engaging with parents and PIBG to build a supportive culture. Bilingual proficiency can be strengthened through the Education Empowerment Plan. Lastly, an outcome-oriented approach focuses on transitioning from just delivery to achieving high-performance results via PAD104. The evaluation of the effectiveness of education policy presents the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to its effectiveness. Firstly, the strengths include stakeholder commitment, which refers to strong synergy between teachers, students, and the community. A practical focus on character building emphasizes experiential learning such as internships or community service to instill real-world values. Strategic partnerships involve collaboration with businesses and NGOs for holistic student development. Secondly, the weaknesses of effective education policy includes a high financial burden, as it requires massive and continuous funding, which is difficult to sustain in the long term. Socioeconomic gaps also exist, with significant disparities in educational outcomes between urban and rural students. Additionally, unequal access means that not all groups benefit equally, hindering full inclusivity. Thirdly, the opportunities to effective education policy include technological integration, which involve utilizing digital tools for reliable information sourcing and easier learning. The TPAD framework applies the technological pedagogical content knowledge model to boost academic staff performance and digital innovation by using ICT to modernize teaching methods and motivate educators. The threats include infrastructure gaps such as poor internet connectivity and network coverage, especially in remote or rural areas. Moreover, mental health issues are also a threat. For instance, during the COVID-19 pandemic, many students experienced anxiety and stress caused by sudden changes in the learning system. Lastly, economic instability results in limited budgets for high-end facilities such as laboratories and specialized teaching equipment.
For my conclusion, I will summarize the key points. First, primary vision. Malaysia education system is guided by a strong foundation to build a united nation. It focuses not only academic success but also on moral value, leadership and social responsibility. Next, economic impact. Education is a long-term investment. It helps produce a skilled workforce and support the development of knowledge-based economy. However, there is still ongoing challenge. For example, there is a resource disparity between urban and rural areas, especially in places like Sabah and Sarawak, where internet access and infrastructure are limited. There are also human barriers such as resistance to change and communication gap between administrator and school. Looking at the adaptive future, the COVID-19 pandemic showed the importance of having a flexible education system that can quickly adapt to digital learning. The TPAD model is important to help teachers integrate technology effectively in the classroom. Finally, collaborative success is key. Continuous progress depends on strong government support and cooperation between teachers, students, and other stakeholders to face future challenges.
And that's all from us. Thank you, everyone.